In this installment, we're going to be going over the NFL early slate. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our NFL bet slate on Sunday. This is just the early slate. We're going over all the 1 o'clock games. The next video will be the 4 o'clock games and the primetime games for Sunday night and Monday night football. All right, so before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetShetsD. Don't forget about the TikTok at chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 8.34 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way because you guys are showing up each and every single day. If you're already subscribed, continue to like and comment so we can grow this YouTube channel to a much broader audience. All right. Speaking of the Patreon, we had an absolutely phenomenal night on Patreon here. The first play for Thursday, we had the Kansas City Chiefs on the money line. That came through. I gave out 2 parlays, a touchdown parlay and this same game parlay right here. The touchdown one did not come through. We needed Rashee Rice. He did not, but we had Derrick Henry on there. But the same game parlay was a nice plus 237 that cashed. Patrick Mahomes over 225, Rashee Rice over 40, Pacheco over 60, and the Chiefs on the money line. So if you want more winning plays, more winning same game parlays, more winning opportunities, you join right now to that Patreon link provided down below. It's not only me giving plays, it's everyone else in the community bouncing off ideas and really trying to get to the back here, creating some very creative plays on each and every slate. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and SIGNUP Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. First up on the Sunday slate here, we're going to be in MetLife Stadium. New York Giants going up against the Minnesota Vikings here. There's a lot of question marks coming in this matchup here, and very shockingly, look at these odds. Vikings as road favorites. Wow. Minus 125 with the comeback of the New York Giants at a plus 105. Point spread at a 1.5. Total at 41. So very low total here. And then we have the monsters of the midweight in the Vikings as favorites in this game on the road in MetLife. Looking at the public bet percentage here, 71% of the bets, 83% of the money on the side of the Vikings. Let me continue on before I go to where I'm going. Point spread, 58% of the bets, 60% of the money towards the Vikings to cover that 1.5. And for the total points, we have 87% of the bets and 59% of the money slightly towards the over of 41. All right, so very shockingly, we got Darnold coming back to New York where he saw ghosts, and the public really hates Daniel Jones. They think Daniel Jones is the worst quarterback ever to be a quarterback. But if we look back 2 years ago in the first year of Daboll, Daniel Jones was very effective and able to get that team to the playoffs and win a playoff game against this very team here with lesser talent. So you can't just go off of preseason, which you saw, and automatically assume that he's bad. So he had a bad season last year, and you saw the 2 interceptions against the Houston Texans. Other than that, those blunders, he was able to move that football and throw for 138 yards in that limited amount of time. So there's potential here. Brian Daboll is very effective. You already know what he's done with Josh Allen in Buffalo. And I think with the addition of Malik Neighbors, that is going to open up things, especially of how bad this secondary is in the Vikings. This is the 32nd ranked secondary. They did not get better. This team is absolutely horrible on defense, and they have no pass rushers. So if you can't get to Daniel Jones, and you have the worst corners in the league going up against Malik Neighbors, and he's going to get peppered, That doesn't equal very well at all. You're looking on the other side. Sam Darnold is a very schizophrenic quarterback, and he has a huge propensity of giving up turnovers. I think the worst quarterback in this game is Sam Darnold, and he has to go up against a tougher match in the New York Giants defensive line. Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Kayvon Thibodeau. Okay, do you have anything on that Viking side of the defense that even equals up anywhere near those three guys? You don't. The clear advantage here will be with the Giants. Give me the Giants on the money line. If you want to play it safe, take the point spread. For the over-under, I do think it's going to be one-sided in the game. I mean, I would lean towards the under 41 on the total, but I think this is great value. Avoid the public and take the Giants. Next game up, we have a NFC South division matchup here. New Orleans Saints going up against the Carolina Panthers here. Looking at the current odds, Saints solidified favorites here, minus 200 with the comeback of the Carolina Panthers at a plus 165. Point spread set at 4 and total points at 41.5. Public bet percentage here, 84% of the bets and 94% of the money all over the Saints. For the point spread, a little more sided on the Panthers, 56% of the bets, 62% of the money on Carolina. And for the total, we have 86% of the bets, 93% of the money on that over 41.5. All right, so for this particular game here, NFC South division matchup, Derek Carr going up against Bryce Young. I understand what Bryce Young had to go through last season. He did not have any talent built around him. And the fix was very key in this offseason. Dave Canales coming over is a huge boost to Carolina Panthers and to Bryce Young. You got to understand, Dave Canales has been a whisperer, similar to Brian Daboll, but Dave Canales, this would be his third opportunity. He did it with Geno Smith, turned his whole career around in Seattle, and he had a phenomenal year. Then what Dave Canales did was go over to Tampa Bay, restructure that offense, make Rachaad White a stud, and bring back Baker Mayfield as a stud quarterback, and he earned that huge contract. Now Dave Canales is going to be coming over to the Carolina Panthers here. Can he do it for a third time? Well, I'm very proud to see that they've actually put some talent around Bryce Young. Hopefully he can turn it around in his second season, because the first one was very bad, but there is still light at the end of the tunnel for him. And this in-division matchup here, Saints have a lot of questions, because during the whole entire time that preseason was going off in the offseason, they were getting decimated on that offensive line. The defense is very subpar. They do have some solid secondary members, but a lot of question marks all around here with the New Orleans Saints on defense, and especially on that offensive line as well. We have poor quarterback play coming from Derek Carr. He's super inconsistent, and it looks like the Saints are regretting that contract that they gave him. And literally, Dennis Allen is on the hot seat. If you go to the sports books right now, he has the best odds to be first fired. All right, he's a favorite to get fired, minus 125. Dave Canales to get fired first. So he's going to have to prove something early and soon, or things are going to be turned over rather quickly here in New Orleans. So there's a lot going on both sides of the football. We have doom and gloom with the Saints. You have a little bit of some sunshine coming from the Panther side. I'm going to be leaning towards the Panther in this in-division matchup. Not saying the money line, but give me those 4 points. This is going to be a tough battle. I expect the Panthers to play more inspired here in this game with the talent that they built around Bryce Young. I like Chuba Hubbard in there. I get it, Saints have Alvin Kamara, but he's another year older, and that poor offensive line production is going to be the Achilles heel for the Saints. If you add poor offensive line plus inconsistent Derek Carr, I cannot trust that going up against a Panthers defense that is solid, all right? Is solid top to bottom, all right? So give me the Panthers plus 4.5. For the over-under, I'm going to be leaning towards the under 41.5 as well. All right. Remember, week one is usually very wild. Everyone expects things to go one way. but this is an in-division matchup. That's too many points. I'll take the 4 points, okay? And definitely on week 1, unders tend to hit as well. So +4 and under 41. In Miami here at the Hard Rock Stadium, we have the Miami Dolphins going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars here. AFC East versus AFC South battle in this one. Looking at the current odds, Dolphins -175 on the money line, -3.5 on the point spread, total at 49. Public bet percentage here, 94% of the bets, 91% of the money on the side of Miami very heavily. For the point spread, 56% of the bets, 61% of the money for Miami to cover that 3.5. And for the total points, we have 79% of the bets, 78% of the money on the over 49. Now, for this matchup here, I love the total. All right. Total is very good because both of these defenses are very poor. All right. Jaguars were 23rd ranked against opposing wide receivers. And you're going up against the Dolphins and Tua, Jalen Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. And then, matter of fact, the Dolphins were even worse against wide receivers. Like, as you can see right here, Jacksonville, 23rd ranked. If you go up a little bit higher, 26th ranked defense against wide receivers were the Miami Dolphins, and they had major key departures on the defensive side. Okay, so this is even worse. All right, Christian Wilkerson, their anchor D tackle, who could really help stop the run. That doesn't bode well when you're going up against Travis Etienne. He's gone. Robert Hunt, offensive guard, gone. Brandon Jones, starting cornerback, gone. One of the leaders at linebacker, Andrew Van Ginkel, gone. Raekwon Davis, another help support right behind Robert Hunt, gone. Xavier Howard, their stud corner, gone. Jerome Baker, solid veteran, went over to Seattle. He's gone. Emmanuel Ogbah released. Keon Crossan, who was their second corner, gone. Deshaun Elliott gone, as well as their safety. So a lot of question marks here on this Miami side of the ball. Yes, they're young and flashy on that offensive side, but there's going to be a lot of high-scoring games when we're talking about the Dolphins' defense here on the upcoming season. And the first one we're talking about is this Jaguars team. All right, Trevor Lawrence just got paid. I like the acquisitions that they had in the draft to help support him as well. He has a ton of weapons here going up against this poor defense. I think all the value here is on the Jaguars in that point spread. I think you guys should take the 3.5 points, enjoy the high scoring game, and take the over. So that's what I don't feel confident at all with the Dolphins on the money line with over 90% of the money and bets on them. I think that's a little bit too advantageous. So give me the Jaguars +3.5 and give me the over of 49. Next game up in Lucas Oil Stadium here, AFC South battle. This is a good one. Indianapolis Colts going up against the Houston Texans here. Texans for the odds -160 as road favorites with the comeback of the Colts at a +130. Point spread at a 3. Total points at 49. Public bet percentage here, 83% of the bets, 85% of the money on the Texans. For the point spread, 58% of the bets, 67% of the money on the side of Houston to cover the 3. And for the total, 77% of the bets, 90% of the money on the over of 49. Now, for the total in this in-division matchup, could it be too high? We're talking about two teams here that are very, very familiar with each other. But we have big X factors. We have CJ Stroud that can definitely exploit any defense here with the type of wide receivers he has. And then you have the explosiveness of Anthony Richardson. Now, we did see a small sample size from him. We want to see more consistency from Anthony Richardson, especially passing wise. But I think as the season goes along, he's going to get better and better. The first game back from his obviously coming back from injury here, I think that's what's going to be the X factor. I really like CJ Stroud in this Texans offense here going up against the Colts. One of the main X factors here is going to be Joe Mixon. Not a lot of people are talking about him, but the teams were able to run on the Colts. That's going to be another X factor there. So Joe Mixon, I think he gets in the end zone against this subpar rush defense. I expect the Texans to get up early. I do expect the Colts to come back and fight valiantly. It's going to be one of those there. Houston up by 14 and some change. and then you see Anthony Richardson try to fight back and get things closer. I do like the over, so I like the points on the over of 49. Do I think they cover the spread? I do. So give me the Texans on the point spread, Texans money line, and the over on the total. I expect a tough fall game, Houston to get out early because Anthony Richardson is still getting acclimated here to full game speed, finally being back. He's only played 4 games, all right? He has a ton of potential. It's not going to happen already this soon. Houston is gung-ho and ready. CJ Stroud is just going to be testing out his new toys here. And give me the Texans as a full sweep. Next game up, Cincinnati Bengals here, going to be against the New England Patriots. For the current odds, Bengals minus 400 on the money line, point spread at 7.5, total points at 40.5. Public bet percentage here, the 96% of the bets, 89% of the money, all on the Bengals. For the point spread, 63% of the bets, 68% of the money for the Bengals to cover. And for the total points, we have 88% of the bets, 58% of the money on the over of 40.5. Now, looking at the total points, going over that really quickly, I see it very, very one-sided here. I don't expect the Patriots to put together that many points. Jacoby Brissett as your starting quarterback is going to be, he'll probably come out pretty competent, scripting the first probably 15 to 20 plays, try to get this team going. They're going to have to lean on Ramondre Stevenson if they have a chance to even stay close in this game, but I highly doubt that. The only benefit for the Patriots to even cover this spread is all the question marks with the wide receiver position on the Bengals. All right, we have a Q tag on Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins is going to be doubtful for this game with a knee injury. So that's going to be what probably hampers the Bengals, and definitely lets me lean towards the under. So I like the under 40.5, actually, thinking about the injuries to the wide receivers. I need more information on Jamar Chase. If Jamar Chase plays, I feel a little more confident on the Bengals covering this 7.5. If he doesn't, you're leaning on a rookie wide receiver in Jermaine Burton, Andre Yashavas as a slot guy, and you're going to have to be leaning on your 1-2 punch at running back with Zach Moss and Chase Brown, who are very dynamic. But top play, obviously money line, but that's not much of a value. I think the best line here, the best value, is the under on the total of 40.5. I don't expect that many points. I don't expect the Patriots to move the ball. All right, so top play under 40.5. If I had to choose a point spread, give me the Bengals to cover the 7.5. All right, they're gonna have to lean on the run game, especially if Jamar Chase is going to be limited, but T. Higgins will be out. Next game up in Chicago, we have in Soldier Field, Bears versus the Tennessee Titans. Looking at the odds for this one, Bears home favorites minus 190 with the comeback of the Titans at a plus 155. Point spread at 3.5. Total points set at 45. For the public bet percentage here, we have 94% of the bets, 81% of money on Chicago. For the point spread, 62% of the bets, 68% of the money on the side of Tennessee. And for the total points, 85% of the bets, 63% of the money towards the over 45. For this game here, Chicago Bears, we get the debut of Caleb Williams, who has looked phenomenal in preseason. He has the most talented wide receiver trio for a rookie quarterback I've ever seen. Keenan, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunze, who should be a number one. You're just waiting for Keenan Allen to retire, or he just might take his spot straight up, point blank. All right. Going up against the Tennessee Titans here and Will Levis, they're going to be more of an air raid offense, West Coast style. They already switched their offense completely from Derrick Henry. They won't be running the ball they won't be run heavy anymore. Okay, I'm telling you, they are throwing the ball with Will Levis. If you paid attention on the scheme, if you paid attention in preseason, how they're running their offense, West Coast style, quick throws, RB screens, they're getting guys open and moving down the field. All right, it's going to be up to Will Levis to make quick decisions, and hopefully he can make the right ones. All right, so there's still a lot of question marks on Will Levis' side. The strongest group is going to be the defensive side of the Bears. Okay, they were able to solidify the defense last year, and now they're putting together a very good offense with Caleb Williams, with the signing of DeAndre Swift, with Rome Odunze as your number 3 wide receiver. I think that's going to be the huge X factor. I see a lot of the public hopping on the Tennessee Titans. This is not the same Tennessee Titans with Mike Vrabel at coach, all right? Yes, they are a very tough team. This Titans defense struggled in the secondary last year mightily, and they didn't make much improvements, all right? So they're going to have to go up against a tough 3 wide receiver core here. I like the Bears in this game. So give me the Bears on the money line. I think the Bears cover the 3.5, and I do like the over on the 45. I expect the Bears to get up. I expect the Titans to try to fight back, and in key moments, that defense is going to come up big. All right, so Bears, complete sweep, money line, point spread, and the over on the 45. Next game up here in Buffalo, Highmark Stadium, Bills versus the Arizona Cardinals. Very special matchup here. I'm very excited to see this one. Bills, pretty big home favorites, minus 300 with the comeback of the Cardinals at a plus 240. Point spread at 6.5. Total points set at 47.5. Public bet percentage here, 89% of the bets, 82% of the money, all over the Bills. For the point spread, 58% of the bets, 60% of the money on the side of the Cardinals to cover. And for the total points, we have 71% of the bets on the over, but we have 66% of the money towards the under. So sharps are looking at an under in this game here between the Bills and the Cardinals. 2 high-powered offenses here with a lot of talent. All right, that's the sharps on it. That's a real good number right there. I believe it was a little bit higher. I believe it was at 49. It is coming down. Very interesting to see that. So this game here, I see a lot of question marks on the side of the Bills defense. Cardinals, obviously getting acclimated. Kyle Murray coming back, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. acclimated with Trey McBride. They have plenty of weapons here. Bills giving up on Stephon Diggs, and they have a lot of question marks with the wide receiver core. They're trying to get Keon Coleman going. He's a rookie. Khalil Shakir is the only solidified guy, but he's not your bankable wide receiver 1 or 2. Curtis Samuel is one of those gimmick guys that does end arounds and short routes. There's a lot of question marks here, but you do have Josh Allen as your leader. He's going to have to carry a heavy load here for the Buffalo Bills, especially with all the key losses on that defense. This defense is absolutely depleted, similarly to the Miami Dolphins. All right. I think the advantage here is on the Cardinal side. I love the 6.5 on the Cardinals. I think they're the better team right now as well. That's just shocking to say. You can tell me in the comment section down below. I'm not just one-sided here with Josh Allen. I'm looking at as a team as a whole, and these questions here of how they maneuver, trying to model their team after the Kansas City Chiefs here and lean on Dalton Kincaid. Yes, love Dalton Kincaid. Great option, going to get a ton of targets here. But we have a lot of question marks around him. So I'm going to be going with the Cardinals here, where I think if we're thinking just talent-wise, I think they're on a similar level as the Buffalo Bills, who are currently constructed. So give me the plus 6.5 on the Cardinals for the over-under. I understand why that under is coming in. I do see a back and forth, though. That one I'm torn on. I would lean towards the over. Deep down, I don't want to be on the side of an under between Josh Allen and Kyler Murray, who are known to make comebacks, all right, and just put up just egregious numbers in the fourth quarter out of nowhere. So I'm going to be going with the over 47.5 and give me the Cardinals on the point spread at 6.5 for value. If you can get a 7 out there, that would be absolutely perfect. I would definitely go towards that as well. Last but not least, we're here in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta. Falcons going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Current odds for this one, Falcons minus 185. Point spread at a minus 3.5. Total points at a 42. For the public bet percentage here, 76% of the bets, 71% of the money on the side of the Falcons. For the point spread, we have 70% of the bets here on the Pittsburgh side, but The sharps are coming in on Atlanta here. 56% of the money on Atlanta to cover the 3.5. For the total points, 87% of the bets towards the over. Sharps are on the under here hard. 65% of the money coming in on the under 42. Now we have a key injury in this game. It's looking like Russell Wilson is trending towards being doubtful, all right, for this game. It's going to be Justin Fields, Georgia native, coming back here in a revenge game for Arthur Smith. That's what the storyline is. That's what they're selling you here. Revenge game, Arthur Smith. You got Georgia-born quarterback here in Justin Fields going up against his Atlanta Falcons. So what the key ingredient in this one is the Falcons defense. Falcons defense getting the downgrade at quarterback. Yes, I like the potential of Justin Fields. I think it's going to take a little bit more time here for him. This is not a good matchup for him at what I've seen with the Steelers offensive line, and now with the Falcons defense, what they constructed. If we're looking at this defense here, they solidified their secondary. They got the best 1-2 punch at safety with Justin Simmons and Jesse Bates to go alongside of A.J. Terrell. They picked up and got a Matthew Judon from the Patriots, who's going to be motivated here as an edge rusher to go along with Grady Jarrett, who finally has some help at defensive tackle. So at every level, they have a stud, all right? I can definitely see some turnover moments here for Justin Fields. He's going to have some bright spots, but there's going to be some ugly plays in here where that Falcons defense is going to cash in. So give me the Atlanta Falcons on the money line. Give me the Atlanta Falcons minus 3.5. And I love the under of 42. I expect that defense to be all over Justin Fields all game long. And Kirk Cousins to have a very comfortable first game in Atlanta. All right, so those are going to be our plays for the early slate of NFL. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping the late slate and the premium primetime games. Let me know in that comment section down below. What do you think about what would be your props and plays for this early slate? We can definitely debate about that down below. Also, if you want to sign up for that Patreon and sign up for my premium plays, parlays, future bets, community group chat, you go down below to that Patreon right now. Click that link, get connected. Also, if you want to go to that Bet Stamp link, that's down below as well. It's your boy Chef D. I'll be back very soon, and peace out.